Hello everybody, good afternoon. I hope you're all really well. Welcome to another episode of Find Your Model Health, the official podcast for those looking to optimize their long-term health goals and understand how their body really works. I am your host, I am Shemaine Laney. I'm a fitness and nutrition expert, certified iridologist and biohacker, and I'm very happy to have you back with me for another hopefully informative podcast episode. I hope you guys are keeping well and warm as we move slowly into Christmas and the cold weather, more so than we already have, if that's possible, while being in Alberta. But this week, I want to look at bowel movements or talk about your poop. But before I go on, I must remind you that the information in these podcast episodes should be taken as informational purposes only and not as medical advice. Please consult your health practitioner before making any lifestyle changes. So, poop. People always get uncomfortable when you discuss poop or bowel movements. Now, not everyone. I do work with a lot of nurses and people in the healthcare industry, and they're quite comfortable, or women that have maybe kids that have good issues, they're used to looking at poop. But I want to kind of go into a bit more detail so that you can kind of decipher your poop a little bit more. You can be your own poop investigator. So there's lots of different names for stool or bowel movements. In Ireland and England, we generally call it poo, and we do pronounce it like that, poo. But here in Canada and America, it's more poop. So I kind of had to adjust to that over the years. Some people will call them turds, feces, logs. Dingleberries is another funny one. But no matter what you call it, it's not the most popular topic of conversation, but it is important to know. So our poop can tell us so much about our health, and it's something that many of us should be aware of. And when I do consultations, it's a staple question in all of my consultations. And then even regularly throughout my journey with clients, I'll say, how are your bowel movements? How is your gut feeling? Any bloating? Blah, blah, blah. So even if you think you're healthy, changes in your poop can reveal hints to what's happening inside your body. And I would consider myself very healthy, but I'll get changes in my bowel movements and I'll go, I need to fix this, or this is because of this. If you're having some sort of digestive discomfort, even if you don't think it's a big deal, you should consider it and address it, because it's always a big deal, I think. And again, even for me, I'd say I'm quite healthy, but anytime I have gut issues, it's like, okay, let's fix this. What could be causing this and what's going on? So if you want to kind of decipher what your poop is saying about your health, then hopefully this episode will help that. So the first two of the first signs about what's happening inside your body in regards to your poop or your bowels is going to be the consistency and then the color of your poop. So according to the Bristol stool chart, which I've shared a lot, there's 7 different types of poop consistencies. So that would be the shape, the size, the appearance of your poop. I do have the Bristol stool chart. It's posted in my biohacking library group on Facebook if you want to check it out there, or alternatively message me and I'll send it to you. Or you can Google it, it'll appear. But this is a helpful tool to help you kind of describe your poop to a healthcare practitioner, and then it helps us kind of diagnose if there's anything potentially going on there. There are 7 different consistencies, and before we go into them, I generally will say, firstly, I'll send people the Bristol stool chart, but I'll also say, if I don't say, have it handy with me. Is your poop normal? And that usually is, does it look like a Mars bar in regards to the color and the shape? And then people usually are good with agreeing or not agreeing or kind of elaborating on that from there. But the other types where things start to change is you have on a scale of 1 to 7, 1 being lumpy or kind of like rabbit poop, so separate hard lumps, and then working its way up to 7, where it's more that kind of diarrhea, water kind of aspect of things. So 1 and 2 generally indicate that you're constipated, and it's usually dehydration, like usually all the time it's dehydration. Some people need a bit of help with fiber, but that's usually more a hydrating fiber like chia seeds or flax seeds. And then as you move on, type 3 and 4 are what we consider healthy or normal poop. But sometimes when I look at type 4, where it's described as a smooth, soft sausage or snake, sometimes depending on other symptoms, that can indicate inflammation in the bowels. And then once you get to 5 and 6, where it's typically softer blobs, you may need more fiber there. And then 6 and 7 could be watery and indicative that you have diarrhea or something else is happening there. It could be you had too much fat and you're having gallbladder issues, like I discussed in the last episode on fiber. Maybe your body's just trying to flush out the fat. You're having some reaction. It could be low stomach acid. There's a couple of different things. So once you understand the consistency of your poop, though, the next important indicator is the color. And most people don't consider this, although a lot of people, when, for example, they start taking liquid chlorophyll or spirulina or something, they'll get a fright that their poop is turned like a greeny green, and that's generally just the chlorophyll molecule that's changing the color of your poop. So there's a few other colors other than brown, like brown is considered the normal color, like the brown of a Mars bar, and please don't blame me if you never eat Mars bars again. But the other colors like yellow, green, red, and even black, they may be due to changes in your diet or indicate digestive issues. So let's kind of look at those a little bit more. So green poop is usually the result of eating something green or a large amount of leafy green vegetables, or if you take liquid chlorophyll, that will turn your poop green. Not everyone, but a lot of people. Children, so this is going to be helpful if you have kids. This whole podcast actually is helpful if you have kids, because a lot of mothers will monitor their child's bowel movements. A lot more kids having gut issues nowadays. So children might have green stool after eating artificially colored foods like Skittles or frosting or something. Certain foods in a person's diet are by far the most causes of green poop, like chlorophyll, but some people who do not eat a lot of greens or have green food coloring, they can still have green poop, and that can be indicative of a more serious cause. So there could be issues with bile pigmentation. If the food moves too fast through the intestines, the bile cannot break down properly. Antibiotics can change the bacteria and the color in your poop as well. Some medical procedures can cause the change in your color to green. Something like bone marrow transplants, that can happen there. And then if you have infections, parasites, bacteria, giardia is one, salmonella as well, they can cause changes in stool coloring to green. So if you're not eating a lot of green vegetables or supplementing with liquid chlorophyll and you have green poop, that's definitely something to look at. And then the other colors you also might experience would be yellow. Yellow can be indicative of bile issues, and even pale white or chalky colored bowel movements can be indicative of bile or gallbladder issues, maybe too much fat in your food or malabsorption there. Also, yellow or brighter poop can be a bacteria issue as well. And then red could be, well, it could be too many beets. You could eat too many beets and your poop would be red. But also there has been some people who have too much Kool-Aid and their poop will turn red. Maybe too much cranberry juice or pomegranate juice or other red drinks. I'm not sure if I am convinced too much on that aspect in the colorings of cranberry, but also you could have red in your poop or your stool from bleeding. So you could have maybe hemorrhoids, maybe fissures, maybe some bleeding in the colon. And then you have black. If you have black, that could be something to do with iron. It could be something to do with bleeding higher up in the stomach or the intestinal tract. Black is something you definitely want to draw to your doctor's attention, because black is not going to be a good idea. There are some theories that too much licorice, black licorice, could cause your stool to be black, which I don't know, and I don't think anyone should eat black licorice. It's gross. But again, black can be a sign of bleeding in the stomach or the upper tract. And then it could be the result of certain iron supplements or another product called bismuth subsalicylate. So really the black ones, although the others are important to keep an eye on, the black ones and the red ones, definitely draw those to the attention of your health practitioner or your family doctor, because that's going to sometimes, most of the time, be indicative of bleeding somewhere in the intestinal tract. Like if you know it's not from iron supplements and it's not from eating too many beets, then you should definitely talk to the health practitioner or your health practitioner about it. Otherwise, we have the green is going to be maybe green vegetables, maybe antibiotics, maybe an infection, and then yellowish could be bacteria issues like SIBO or something like that, or it could be gallbladder and bile issues there. So that should give you a bit more of an idea of what to look for and then take action. So normal stool, if you're looking at the Bristol stool chart, it's number 3 or 4. If you're thinking of it in your head, it's like the size and shape of a Mars bar, sometimes bigger or longer depending on the person. And then it's that brown kind of healthy color. So I hope you found this helpful. If you've any questions, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to answer or help you decipher your poop. You can reach me at shemainesmodelhealth.com. You can email me there as well. There's a contact me button. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Shemaines Model Health. Either way, most people know how to contact me, especially if you've been listening to me for a while. So I hope you found this helpful. Please share with anyone you think would benefit from this information. If you feel I deserve a review, I would very much appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to my podcast already, please do that too, because I'll be bringing lots and lots more interviews and content as we wrap up this year and move into the new one. I hope to have some really special guests on that I actually have wanted to talk to in more of a conversational format for ages. Like, these are people I personally follow, like mentors of mine. I'm really hoping to get on some people. I don't want to give you the names in case they decline, but fingers crossed. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day and your week, everybody. Stay warm, and I'll chat to you guys real soon. Bye-bye.